Привет, Zdravo, and Annyeonghaseyo. Hi, I'm from GreenShortz. And about 7:30 on Saturday morning, I woke up with the sinking feeling that I'd made a mistake. And that feeling was backed up by this comment, which arrived shortly after my video posted at 8 a.m. on Saturday morning. And actually, I agree. And the problem is right here. When I cut the conduit to make the flat spot, to make the tab, which I used to bolt the skeleton to the frame, I created a weak spot. And the funny thing is that this isn't how I planned to do it when I ordered my tinktube. I actually have the brackets to do it correctly. In my intuitive process, I kind of get down the road sometimes before I recognize the mistake. But the good news is that I can correct it by simply taking the bolt out, cutting off the tab, and then using this bracket to bolt the skeleton back to the frame of the trailer. That's also going to allow me to fix another problem, which is that I need another inch or so in height so Trevor isn't scrunched over in this trailer when he's sitting.
I mean, yeah, I'm like, got my head sticking out.
There's going to be an inch of insulation in there too.
How are you supposed to make it longer?
Somehow when I finalize the skeleton, the roof line is lower, so I want to add an inch and a half or so back in, and the bracket will allow me to do that.
This video series is sponsored by tinktube. tinktube is a pipe and fittings system to empower your DIY projects.
Check out the tinktube website. I'll put a link in the description below. At their website, you can also sign up for a 15-minute call with Esteban.
Seven bolts and I've got the skeleton detached. Now to cut the tabs. Eyes, ears, and nose, JW. The H8 bracket has two sides and a tab on each side. It's probably used to connect to a piece of wood, a little thinner than a 2x4. I'm only going to use the tab on one side. In fact, the other tab would be in the way. And so I could modify this by cutting the tab off on one side. And then it would still have the ability to connect together to hold the conduit. However, I only have 5 of these pairs and I need 7. So I'm actually going to cut an H4 bracket in half, and I can get 2 of the pieces that I need to form the 2 sides of the bracket here. I'm going to screw this down to hold it while I cut it. Four halves of an H4 gets me 8 pieces, but I just need 7. The nose piece bracket will need to be at an angle, so I'm going to throw it in the vise and bend it. Yeah, that's better. Just looks better too. Welcome to our newest member, Marie Dinger. Thank you for the support and the vote of confidence. My modified bracket isn't closing up evenly, but I'll remedy that by putting a through bolt through here once I get all the brackets on and the skeleton aligned correctly. The through bolt was also something that Esteban recommended to help kind of lock down these corners.
Consider at least the corners and the top to be able to do a through bolt so that you can have a nut and bolt really hold everything together, so that we make sure that that exterior skeleton is as solid as it can be.
These bolts could stand to be a little bit bigger. With that washer slipping through that slot there, I decided it was time to go
a little more beefy with the bolts as well. I'm gonna make the jump to 1/4 inch. It wants to grab. Gonna hand turn this drill bit with the drill body until I get that started. So I reverse the direction of the drill to out, and then I can turn it. Lock washer on the back side. One more flat washer. Now I'll just repeat that process 6 more times. Because I modified this connector, it definitely is resisting being in parallel here, which will make that through bolt essential in this. I probably could have just used half this bracket, just done the through bolt, but I like having the compression fitting as well as the bolt through it, just for extra strength here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a through bolt now and just see how that goes together. That's what I'm talking about. I can come back with the hex bolt, put it in, and it's not gonna rack. I love it when a plan comes together. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. With my new fittings in and the skeleton being a little bit taller, I need to make some adjustments to a lot of the other connections. But that's the beauty of the tinktube, it's all adjustable. One of the things I've been fiddling with here is the angle of all of these. And right now they're all a little bit different. I think one of the things that's causing the problem is the fact that this fitting right here is a fixed 90-degree angle. I need to get this to lean back some more. But when I do that with this 90-degree, it wants to push the sides out. But I don't need these pipes to be symmetrical because the door is going to be in this opening and this section is going to be covered. So I'm actually going to take this bracket off and use 2 separate brackets, and then I can adjust these angles as I need to. This is temporary, of course, but I think it'll work. I need to get one of those fancy things that tells you the number of the angle. I'm gonna see how close the sides are first, because I know I gotta make a bigger adjustment to the nose angle. With a lot of finagling, and adjustments. I've got the back angles where I want them, as well as the angles on my 2 side pieces. And now I need to make the adjustment to the nose angle, which is a little more tricky because it involves 3 pieces. This has been an exercise in geometry, in shortening this piece. It lengthened this piece, and now this piece of conduit is too short. That's okay, I've got lots of tinktube left, so I'm actually gonna take this piece out, put a longer piece in, and I'll have plenty of opportunities to reuse this as the build continues. All right, I finally got this external skeleton with the angles all matching. I had to do 5 cuts on that top piece in order to get the angle right on the front piece here. All right, now I'm gonna reinstall these stretchers. Now that I've got the dimensions set, it's time for the real test. The Trevor test. A little more headroom than you had before. Most of the insulation will be above the conduit. It'll be more like this. I do want you to see how laying down works, but I need to rig something for that. Hang on. Alright, the cot's gonna be a little more comfortable than this, but this will give us a sense for how long you are here. Alright. Lay down on that carefully.
Alright, try not to break the board.
This is just particle board. Alright, so scoot down that way just a little bit. Alright, so that's it, that's good. So the top will come in here, and then your feet are gonna, will make your cot wider. So it's more this way. This one will be asymmetrical. Then I think you'll have enough room to be comfortable. All right, Trev's got to go to work, so I got him for 5 minutes in this video, but your work is done here today.
Thank you.
It's been a long week for him. You had 6 tests this week.
I don't know, probably something like that.
It was brutal. All right, so he's off to work, and I'm gonna get back to work. Thank you, son.
You're welcome.
I'm going to add some internal skeleton elements here, and I've got some salvaged aluminum 3/4 inch pipe. I'm going to use the aluminum here because I'm adding weight behind the axle, and I want to minimize that. I flattened this edge a little bit so it sits down on the fender better. And I'm going to lock this down with a little bracket and a self-tapping screw. Also part of the tinktube system. Whew, my brain is fried. All this measuring and figuring and designing on the fly, well, adjusting the design on the fly is wearing me out. I've pretty much got this skeleton where I'm ready to put the flooring, well, the rest of the flooring in. It's gonna turn up here, it'll sit across the back here and cover over this section down here that's gonna be the garage, so to speak. And I think I've decided I'm gonna make that whole thing a drawer, or at least 3/4 of it, and the whole kitchen will slide out the side. Same components of design. I'm not 100% sure about that yet, but I've been thinking about it for a while. So I'm gonna do some measuring, some sketches, and see what I think.
I'll probably also run that by Esteban and get his input as well. Kind of feel like this video was a rehash of last week's video. But getting this skeleton right is important because everything else follows on from this. If the foundation's good, if the framing's straight, then the rest of the camper should attach fairly easily, and it's gonna be straight as well. I shouldn't have used the word easy. I do think the skin on this is gonna be quite a challenge. It was probably a good thing that Trevor wasn't available to help me this week because I had to do a lot of stopping and thinking, and that wouldn't have been a good use of his time. Thank you to those of you who've been following this series all along. It's definitely been an adventure, but I'm really happy with how the camper is coming together. So stay tuned for more. Special thanks to my patrons and members for helping make these videos possible. If you'd like to join me on Patreon or in the membership section here on YouTube, you can check out the description below. As always, our mission here at Green Shorts is to help you see green so you can be green, and save a little green by doing it yourself. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next Saturday.